first video, I will be talking about dispersion. Dispersion is the deviation of data from its central values. Now, in measures of central tendency, we consider three basic measures of central tendency, and those measures are mean, median, and mode. So, these are the three measures of central tendency. Now, on the basis of these measures of central tendency, we will find out the dispersion of the data. Now, dispersion can be absolute dispersion, dispersion can be relative dispersion. So, absolute measures of dispersion are standard deviation, then mean deviation, then range, and the relative measures of dispersion are quartile deviation and other relative measures of dispersion. So these are the absolute measures of dispersion, and these are the relative measures of dispersion. First, we will consider the absolute measures of dispersion. So let me start with standard deviation. Suppose x is a random variable, is a variable which takes the values x1, x2 through xn. So there are n observations on the variable x. Now let us first consider a simple data without frequency. So in that case, the formula for standard deviation is under root of 1 by n summation of xi minus x bar whole square. So here we are considering the sum of the squares of the deviations of the actual data from its mean value. So here we are considering the measure of central tendency, that is x bar, that is the mean of the variable x. Now if we consider the group data, then x takes the values x1, x2 through xn with the corresponding frequencies f1, f2 through fn. So in that case, the formula for standard deviation is under root of 1 by capital N summation of fi into xi minus x bar whole square, and in both the cases I is from 1 to n. Now fi is the class frequency, or fi is the corresponding frequency, and xi is the variable. So ith observation is xi and the frequency corresponding to the ith observation is fi. So if we consider the data with frequency, then standard deviation will take this formula. Now here capital N is summation of fi, that is sum of the frequencies, where I is from 1 to n. Now in both the cases, we are considering an expression within the root, and that is why standard deviation can never be negative. So one of the properties of the standard deviation is that it can never be negative. So we consider properties of standard deviation. So the first property of standard deviation is always greater than is equal to 0. It can never be negative. It can be 0, but it cannot be negative. So standard deviation is always greater than is equal to 0. That is the first property of the standard deviation. The second property of the standard deviation is that standard deviation is independent of change of origin, but it depends on the change of scale. Now by change of origin, we mean the deviation of the observation of a particular observation from its central value. So suppose xi is the ith observation. Now what is the change in origin? If we want to change the origin of the data, then we have to subtract a constant term c from the ith observation. So in that case we will have the change of origin. And what is change of scale? If we want to change the scale of the data, then we have to divide the original data by a constant term d. So this is the change in origin, and this is the change of scale of the data. Now if we consider simultaneously the change of origin and change of scale, then we have to transform the data, and that new data can be denoted by yi, where yi is equal to xi minus c divided by e. So here we are considering both change of scale, change of origin and change of scale. So in that case the transformed data is denoted by yi and the original data is xi. Now the property of standard deviation is saying that if we change the data by its origin and by its scale, then the new data, the standard deviation of the transformed data is independent of the change of origin, but it will be dependent on the change of scale. So we have to prove this property. So this is the transformed variable yi and this is the original variable xi, and we are changing the origin as well as the change in scale. Now let us consider the mean of yi. So for getting the mean of yi, we have to take the summation in both the sides. So by taking summation in both the sides, we get summation of yi is equal to 1 by d summation of xi minus c by d. Now there is a 1 here, so c into 1 we can write here. So if we take c by d common, then we will have summation of 1, where summation is from 1 to n. So here we can write 1 by d summation of xi minus c by d into n. Now dividing both the sides by n, we get 1 by n summation of yi is equal to 1 by d 1 by n summation of xi minus c by d n by n. So from here we get y bar. So this expression is basically represents y bar. So summation of yi divided by the number of observation is the y bar, that is the mean of y. So this is the mean of y. So that is equal to 1 by d. Now 1 by n summation of xi is mean of x. So we can write x bar minus c by d. So from here what we can write? We can write that x bar minus c by d. So y bar is equal to x bar minus c by d. So this we have got from the original transformation, that is yi is equal to xi minus c by d. So from yi is equal to xi minus c by d gives us y bar is equal to x bar minus c by d. Now let us find out the standard deviation of y. So for getting the standard deviation of y, we have to consider yi minus y bar. Now if we consider yi minus y bar on the left hand side, then on the right hand side what we are getting? We are getting xi minus c by d minus x bar minus c by d. So from here, by simplifying this, we are getting xi minus x bar by d. Now we are squaring both the sides. So by squaring both the sides, we are getting yi minus y bar whole square is equal to 1 by d square xi minus x bar whole square. Now we are taking summation in both the sides. So by taking the summation, we are getting summation of yi minus y bar whole square is equal to 1 by d square summation of xi minus x bar whole square. Now we are dividing both the sides by n. So by dividing both the sides by n, we are getting 1 by n summation of yi minus y bar whole square is equal to 1 by d square 1 by n summation of xi minus x bar whole square. Now this is what? This is the square of the standard deviation. So we can write here SD of y square, and on the right hand side we have 1 by d square. Now this expression represents the square of the standard deviation of x. So we can write, in place of this expression we can write 1 by d square standard deviation of x whole square. Now from here we can write standard deviation of y is equal to 1 by modulus of d standard deviation of x. So here, for getting the standard deviation of y, we have to consider only the positive value of d, because we know from the first property of standard deviation, we know that standard deviation can never be negative. So for getting a positive value of the standard deviation, we will have to consider only the positive value of d, and that is why we are taking modulus here. So here we will write 1 by modulus of d standard deviation of x. So standard deviation of y is equal to standard deviation of x into 1 by modulus of d. Now d is what? When we transform the variable, the original variable, by changing its origin and scale, then the transform variable was xi minus c divided by t. So this is the change in scale. So what we can observe from this expression, that standard deviation of the new variable, that is yi, is dependent on the change of scale, but there is no c here in this expression, and so it is independent of change of origin. So from here we can write that standard deviation is dependent on change of scale, but it does not depend on the change of origin. So it is independent, but it is independent of the change of origin. So the second property of standard deviation is proved. Next we consider the alternative formula for standard deviation. So what is the formula for standard deviation? Standard deviation is under root of 1 by n summation of xi minus x bar whole square. And what is the square of the standard deviation? It is standard deviation square 1 by n summation of xi minus x bar whole square, and in each case the summation is over 1 to n. standard deviation square is basically the variance of the variable. So this is called, the square of the standard deviation is called variance. So if we have the value of standard deviation with us, then we can find out the variance by taking the square of that value. So variance is equal to square of the standard deviation. So if the formula for standard deviation is under root of this expression, then for getting the variance we have to take the square of the standard deviation. So in that case, variance will be equal to 1 by n summation of xi minus x bar whole square, where I is from 1 to n. Now if we expand this expression, then what we will have? So within the summation we can expand this. So this is xi square minus 2 xi x bar plus x bar square. So this is within the bracket and this is within the summation. Now from here we can write 1 by n summation of xi square, then minus 2, then x bar will be treated as a constant. So 2 into x bar will come out of the summation. So 2 into x bar. Now within the bracket we will have 1 by n summation of xi, and then x bar square is another constant. So we can take it out of the summation sign. So then we will have x bar square 1 by n summation 1, I is from 1 to n. So from here we can write 1 by n summation of xi square minus 2. Now this is x bar, 1 by n summation of xi is x bar. So from here we can write 2 into x bar square, and then from here for the third term we can write plus x bar square. Now what is summation of 1? When I is from 1 to n, this is n. So 1 by n into n, so that will be 1. So we will have x bar square here. Now from here we can write 1 by n summation of xi square minus x bar square. So variance of x is equal to 1 by n summation of xi square minus x bar square. Now if we want to get the standard deviation from this expression, then we have to take the square root of this expression. So standard deviation of x can be written as under root 1 by n summation of xi square minus x bar square. So in that case we will get two formula for standard deviation. The first formula is this, and the second alternative formula is under root of 1 by n summation of xi minus x bar square. So we can use either of these two for getting the value of the standard deviation of a variable. Now if we have the frequency data, if we have the data with frequency, then what will be the formula for standard deviation? So for a data with frequency, the standard deviation is equal to 1 by n summation of fi into xi minus x bar whole square, that we have already discussed. So if we have the data on fi, if we have the data on xi, then we can use this formula for getting the standard deviation of x, where capital N is summation of fi. Now what is the alternative formula for standard deviation of x for a data with frequency? So in that case we are considering the variance of x. Now if we consider variance of x, then we have to square this expression. So in that case we will get 1 by n summation of fi xi minus x bar whole square. Now if we expand this, then we will get 1 by n summation of fi, then within the bracket xi square minus 2 x bar xi plus x bar square. further simplification, we will get 1 by n summation of fi xi square, then minus 2 by n x bar summation of fi xi, and then for the third term we will get 1 by n x bar square summation of fi. Now from here we get 1 by n summation of fi xi square. Then what is summation of fi xi by capital P? This is the x bar for a frequency, for a data with frequency. So there are two formula for x bar. One is x bar is equal to 1 by small n summation of xi. So this is the formula for x bar for a simple data set without frequency. Now if we have a data set with frequency, in that case x bar is equal to 1 by capital N summation of fi xi, where fi is the class frequency and capital N is the sum of the frequencies. So here we are considering a frequency data, so that is why summation of fi xi by n is x bar. So in that case from here we will get minus 2 x bar square. So because there is one x bar here and we will get another x bar from this expression, so we will get x bar square. So this is minus 2 x bar square plus 1 by n x bar square. Then what is summation of fi? Summation of fi is n. So we can write n. So from here we get 1 by n summation of fi xi square, then minus 2 x bar square plus x bar square. Now from here we get 1 by n summation of fi xi square minus x bar square. So this is an alternative formula for standard deviation, for calculating standard deviation when we have the data with frequency. So the first formula is under root of 1 by capital N xi minus x bar whole square, then summation fi into xi minus x bar. So this is the first formula. And the alternative formula for calculating standard deviation for a data with frequency, the alternative formula is 1 by n summation of fi xi square minus x bar square. So we can use either of these two formulas for calculating standard deviation of a data with frequency.